Hello all.
Hi David.
Hiya.
You okay?
Yeah, it's all good, all good.
Good. Very happy birthday.
Thank you. Cheers, thanks very much.
Are you and Luke Morgan having a joint party tonight?
Yeah, we brought cakes in for the boys today now, so they're all happy, I think. Yeah, joint birthday in Bridgend tonight now.
I never really get that you have to bring cakes on your birthday. It should be the other way around.
Hi, it's just a thing, innit, I guess. It's just tradition. So yeah, some been brought in today for the boys, so they're happy, I'm sure.
Okay, well have a good one, mate. Let's talk rugby then. A couple of games back now. I mean, how are you feeling after the long injury layoff?
Yeah, it's been a tough year injury wise, but you know it's part and parcel of the game. It happens to everyone, not just me. So you know it's about coming back fit and strong and getting back into the swing of things. And you know, last two results haven't been what we wanted, but it's been a joy to be back on the field with the boys and you know back playing in Osprey's jersey.
I've been reading a lot of stories this week about mental health. I think it's Mental Health Awareness Week. Did you struggle at all during those 3 months off?
I mean, it's never nice to be injured, obviously, but I think I had a good group of boys who were injured as well at the same time. You know, got Jack, James Fender, Liam Edwards, Will Griffiths. You know, so we all mucked in and did our bit to get back fit and help each other out, and we had a good laugh at the same time. So you know, it's a lot easier when you know other boys are going through it as well, and you can all sort of work hard together rather than just, you know, on your own feeling sorry for yourself.
Not the best games to come back for, 2 60-point defeats, but there is still a chance you can make the playoffs, and I guess hope is everything.
Yeah, definitely. Look, that's our ultimate goal, but I think for us it's about taking it, you know, one game at a time. 2 Welsh derbies coming up, two good outfits. We've already you know, lost to the Dragons once this season down at Rodney Parade. So you know, our focus is solely on that game this week, and then obviously Cardiff the following week, and you know, whatever will be, I guess, in terms of playoffs. But it's definitely about focusing on one game at a time for us.
Your record against the Dragons and Swansea is pretty solid. I don't think they've won this since 2010. So on paper, you guys look certain favourites this weekend. Yeah,
look, we've been quite strong at home this year as well. I don't think many teams have come down to Swansea.com and turned us over. So you know, we talked about being a tough team to beat at home, being a tough team to beat in general, but especially, you know, in front of the home fans, in front of home support. So hopefully in our last home game we can give our home fans something to cheer about again. Yeah.
Dragons have shown shoots of improvement this season. How dangerous is it to play against a side who've got absolutely nothing to lose?
Yeah, and look, they're a great outfit. They got some strong players, you know, Wainwright, Basham, Lydiat, dangerous back row if it ends up being them three. You know, Will Reid, young outside half, will play, and you know, boys like Rio Dyer on the wing, very dangerous characters. So you know, we know they can attack, and knowing Di Flanagan as well. You know, they're gonna be wanting to attack us, wanting to bring the game to us. We already know that from some of the things said in the media this week. But yeah, look, we're not, you know, taking them for granted. We know they're an excellent team, and they've been unlucky with some results this year. So you know, it's definitely about us taking the game to them and just being ourselves, and you know, giving them a good battle.
We just spoke to Toby before you, and he said there's been a lot of conversations around the mentality this week, picking yourselves up after those losses. What sort of things has he said to you guys?
Yeah, I think that's what being winners and you know, championship teams do, I guess, is, you know, you can't win every game, you're not going to win every game, but that's how you bounce back after those losses. Obviously two tough ones for us against, you know, two top 4 sides. So it's about bouncing back, and we know that we have to do that as a group, and that mentality and things is what triggers that for us. You know, wanting to turn up, wanting to play, wanting to, you know, stop the Dragons getting over our try line. You know, and that is really what's going to underpin our game this weekend. So yeah, it's been a big focus point for us.
If I could speak about international rugby, then obviously you missed the Six Nations, but a chance this summer to hopefully lay a claim back to back to the shirt. Is that something that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, 100%. It's always the goal, isn't it? Obviously, main focus is still here, as we said earlier. A lot of rugby still to be played in Ospreys jersey, but look, selection's not mine to make. I guess I gotta play well in this jersey first and earn the right to hopefully wear the Welsh jersey again. But yeah, it's definitely a goal of mine to get back into the red jersey and hopefully playing in summer. But all focus on obviously stuff here and our opportunity to make the playoffs and hopefully get a win over the Dragons.
Did you speak to Warren Gatland during your rehab, and have you spoken to him about your progress recently?
Couple of chats just here and there, nothing in particular in terms of games, just catch-ups on how rehab was going, how the body was feeling. Same with Hugh Bennett, just around how the body was feeling, just check-ins in terms of just the kind of tight-knit group that we get from that kind of thing, but nothing too major, no.
Do you think this could play into your hands a little bit? Some of the boys might be burned out at the end of a very long season going into the summer, whereas you've had 3 months obviously not been playing rugby, but do you think you might peak at the right time?
Yeah, I guess it's all about these next 2 games and how we condition ourselves into that. As I said, I'm not thinking too much ahead into international or summer tour or anything. That's still far away in the back of my mind yet. Maybe once the team's selected and stuff like that, I can start focusing more on it. But I'm not putting too much thought into it before it's there. Don't count your chickens before they hatch, as they say. There's like I said, there's a lot to do here first for the Osprey supporters and Ospreys fans, and for this group, and where we want to be finishing and the goals we've set ourselves. So yeah, focus is very much still with the Ospreys.
And obviously you would have been watching the Six Nations like the rest of us. I mean, how painful was that to see Wales win the wooden spoon? Yeah,
it was obviously tough as a supporter, as a fan, but I'm sure it was a lot tougher for the boys involved, and the hard work that they would have put in week out to stop that, and a couple of results unfortunately going the other way. But look, like I said earlier, with our couple of losses, it's part of the game. Sometimes you can't win them all. There's going to be losses, but as we said, it's how you bounce back. I think if you bounce back and start winning games, soon people will forget about the losses. So yeah, it's obviously tough to watch, and I'm gutted for the boys, but I'm sure it'd be much harder for them.
And what an opportunity this summer then, against the best, South Africa, and then Australia, who you beat in the World Cup.
Yeah, a couple of interesting games coming up with that international scene. I think again, there's not too much pressure on that yet in terms of looking at that. But yeah, playing 2 of the best teams in the world would be exciting for anybody to even think about or look forward to. So yeah, obviously, hopefully it gets to that point that I can start thinking about those teams. But until we get there, I'm solely focused here.
Well, good luck this weekend. Thanks, Dewi.
Thanks very much.
Hi, Dewi. How are you?
Hi, Stefan.
I asked Toby Boo the same question, but obviously because there's a lot of doom and gloom around Welsh rugby with budgets and whatnot. How much of an achievement would it be, do you think, if the Ospreys were to make the playoffs, considering the resources the Irish and the South African and the Scots have got?
Yeah, I think it's a huge achievement for anyone in this league. It's a very competitive league. You've got teams are winning and losing games week in, week out. One team you'd think maybe is a banker to win and they lose. So it is a very competitive league, and I think to be able to get further in it and into sort of post-season stuff would be a huge achievement for us. Whether or not the state of Welsh rugby and things outside of our control. I think in general, in terms of the work that this group, this team, staff, everyone involved in this group has put throughout the year. Some of the performances put in, some of the teams we've beaten. To be able to take that into a post-season, into a playoffs, I think is well deserved. And yeah, I think it's a great achievement for any team.
Yeah, Toby was also excited by the potential of some of the younger players, especially the forwards like Garyn Phillips, Lewis Lloyd's played well. Do you, obviously maybe Welsh Rugby isn't in the financial position to sign big name players, but from what you've seen in training, are you quite excited by some of the younger forwards coming through? Do you think there's a lot of potential there?
Yeah, 100%. Yes, it is exciting to see your team or your club sign big name players and things like that. But it starts with homegrown talent, really. That's what we've been made up of most of this year. And you've seen what it's done for us. We've become a very tight-knit group. We've had our struggles, but we're in a position where we're fighting for a playoff position, and that's what we set the goal for. But yeah, you see these young boys tearing around, and they're hungry for it, and they want the opportunity to represent the club, and that's what you want. You want boys working hard to earn their opportunity, and I think they push you as well. They push you to do better, to train better, to play better, keep you on your toes, youngsters, don't they? So yeah, I think definitely that's what Welsh Rugby is about, is the talent in the regions, in the valleys, in the cities and the towns. There's a lot of talent in Wales, and I think it's coming through in Welsh Rugby at the minute.
Yeah, obviously when you were injured and watching the Six Nations, obviously it's results business and they weren't great, but did you get the impression that even though they lost all 5 games, they weren't actually that far away? I mean, the England game and maybe the Scotland game in particular could have gone the other way. I mean, how did you sort of view the Six Nations from a performance perspective? Was it as bad as some people say, do you think?
Look, I think it's tough for me to comment on not being involved in the campaign in general or in results, so it is tough for me to comment on. But I think you're spot on with the Scotland game and the England game could have gone either way. The Ireland game, I think defensively was such a positive. I think a lot of people were expecting a bigger margin, or Ireland to be a lot more clinical, and the Welsh defence held strong. And results, yes, didn't go the way of the Welsh team, but the positives you take from having a young group who are gaining experience at the international level, and you look at some of the boys that came out to that campaign having good campaigns, Cam Winnett, Alex Mann, youngsters like that with their first taste of international rugby, to come out as they did. I think it is going to be great for the future of Welsh Rugby. And like I said, I can't comment on how the campaign went, not being involved, but I think definitely results could have spun either way on a couple.
Yeah, and just finally from me, stating the obvious a bit, but if you're selected for the summer, which I'm sure you will be, I suppose you're going to have a point to prove as well, not individually, but I mean as a squad, because obviously a lot of people outside of Wales are going to be writing us off, but Welsh Rugby needs to sort of I suppose you're going to have to set the record straight this summer.
Yeah, and I think it's something to give back to the people who support and who watch. There's a lot of people who do put a lot of time into Welsh Rugby and want it to do well, and I think there's an onus on us as a country in terms of whether it's regional games, whether it's international games, to give back to those people who support and watch and pay to watch or pay to come to grounds and support, and that's the important thing. Like you said, whether it's through summer and in that tour, or whether it's here and our last home game of the year and being able to put a good performance in against the Dragons, for the people who do pay to watch and want to get joy from watching Welsh Rugby in general.